It's a mental game?
It is a mental game.
Mental game.
You're about as good a cyclist as how hard you're willing to push yourself.
Mentally.
Yeah. So if you want to go to the next level, you need to redefine what is your limit.
Phil Phails for you.
The
This
limit,
is David Goggins stuff, right?
not necessarily David Goggins.
Right.
I'm not going to say like he should be like running a marathon in the snow.
With a broken ankle.
Yeah, no, not that. But this is like the end of Mean Girls. The limit does not exist. So we all have different physical attributes that help us. Some people are really fast runners. Some people can run a long time.
Yeah.
Same on a bike. And you do tend to lean into the things that you like to do. If you like to ride 100 miles at a time, you probably will do a lot of it.
Yeah.
If you like sprinting up the top of a hill, you'll probably lean into that more.
Right.
But to go up to the next level, you have to be willing to push through what you thought was your limit. And when I was a racer, I started racing when I was 7, right? So every year was a new limit of how far I thought I could go.
So you had to almost erase your idea of your ceiling.
Yes.
You think there's not that ceiling, and set new goals that were way higher than it?
Yes. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be speed, because there's a lot of variables in how fast you're going.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be like how high you can get your heart rate. It could be how long you can hold your heart rate at a certain height.
High level, yeah.
With racing, we could talk about this too. I'm not a huge fan of the gadgets and the data. I'm embracing it more because I'm a coach now.
Yeah.
I have
Because that's
to.
how you get all your data from your clients.
Yes. In fact, I just bought a watch for myself to track my sleep.
Nice.
But, the there's nothing for a racer, there's nothing more important than speed.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, FTP, right? But that's just a way to generate speed. Speed is what you need. And a good racer can hang on in groups where people might be far more powerful than them, but they can't lose this guy because he knows what he's doing in the race as far as drafting and strategy. I'm getting off track now.
You're good.
But cycling is all about how hard you're willing to push yourself.
Mental game.
Yes. Things that would make you a better cyclist would be the willingness to train harder.
Willingness to train harder.
Yeah.
And when you say hard, you mean really go farther or become comfortable with some of the discomfort?
Yeah.
Like when your legs are hurting, continue to go while having that sensation longer?
Every cyclist has this moment where they're like, I can't go any faster, or I can't go at this speed any longer.
Right.
And when you push through that, that's where you're making the improvement.
It's normally on the bagel ride. It's like 1 mile before the gas station for me.
Okay.
Everybody starts to burn and I'm like, man, I can't hold on anymore.
Yeah. And by the way, I've been dropped many, many times from many different rides and races.
That's good. And you're a professional. You were a professional cyclist.
So I understand
I've been dropped
that
many
feeling
times too.
I understand it.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason I'm a good coach as well. But how you push through those harder moments is how you improve at it.
By not dropping off. Like somehow mentally gaming yourself to stay on.
I mean, one good game is like, break it up. Like, I'm going to hold this pace for 10 more seconds.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end of that.
10 more seconds.
10 more seconds. And then quite often, rides or races, they surge and then they back off.
That's right.
And I've been dropped in a lot of races where I got dropped and then they're going the same speed as me up there. I'm like, oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah. It happens.
You just got to hold on until the next lull because everybody needs to recover.
Yeah.
You're not the only one that needs to recover. Everybody does.
They're all hurting.
They're all hurting.
Yeah. Different people have different physical attributes. And you could, like, if you're looking at professional cycling like Tadej Pogacar, okay, he's got these crazy physical abilities. But when we're talking about cycling at our level, like the bagel ride,
Yeah.
I can get anyone to where they need to be on the bagel ride.
Yeah.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah. And how hard you push yourself, how long you push yourself. And then off the bike too. Like, are you willing to give up junk food because it's going to help you recover faster?
Heck yeah.
Are you willing to go to bed early?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Tadej Pogacar, for everybody that's watching, is one of the best cyclists currently.
Yeah.
Or is he like the best of all? It's like the Michael Jordan of cycling.
Well, that's a debate. I still say Eddie Merckx,
Okay.
but a lot of people would say Tadej Pogacar.
He's crushing it.
And if you look at, and we're talking about cycling, but you look at the top level of any sport, at the top level, the differences are super small, right? Like the difference between the winner of the Tour de France and the last place of the Tour de France is like 3%. Like,
Really?
is really small. Okay. So, having said that, you see people with their different abilities might be better at climbing hills, might be better at sprinting
Or time trials.
or time trials. But unless you're racing at that level, you should be good at all of it. Like a good cyclist is good at all three of those things I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, riding around Austin, you should be able to do some hills, do some endurance, and
It's like if you can drop me on a climb, you should also you'll probably outride me on the flat road and probably outride me in a sprint. Like this kind of level is just about fitness, strength, pushing yourself, working hard, feeling good. Yes, some of us are better at some aspects of cycling than other, but don't be fooled by how somebody looks or how they talk.
I have been.
You'll get
Big
humbled.
guys, some older big guys on rides. I've been like, man, I'm having no problem on this ride. And some of these older big guys that'll just crush it.
Dude,
Crush me.
cycling is a good way to humble yourself.
For real. The VC rides, these guys are older.
Yeah.
I'm 48.
Okay.
How old are you?
51.
You're 51. Some of the guys on these rides are in their 60s
Yeah.
and they're crushing it.
Yeah.
That's the one reason that I know I'm in the right place if I want to live a long time and be active for a long time, because these guys are staying active into their older ages. Isn't there some 70-year-olds that are riding on
Yeah, there
some
are.
of these rides?
And that's one of the reasons that brought me back into cycling in 2023 is when I got back into cycling after like 8 years off. And that was part of it, was like, I was feeling like an old man, and cycling makes me feel strong. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It's something I love to do. So it's easy to get me out on a bike. I smile when I ride my bike on a trainer in the garage. Like, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find mindset, we'll get to this when we talk about mindset, but one I notice when I'm doing a ride, it's different if I think I'm having fun
Yeah.
and I'm just, this is awesome, this is fun, oh man, the countryside, I'm just like loving it, versus, oh man, this is hard. And sometimes I find myself in both of these, and I ride better when I think it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm coaching somebody, the first biggest question I ask them is, why are you cycling?
Yeah.
And that's going back to my tagline of like, how is it enhancing your life? Like, why are you a cyclist? What do you like about cycling? And then what are your goals?
What are their answers? What is the...
You'd be surprised how many people just want to drop their friends on Saturdays. It's a big goal.
They just want to go faster than their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm coaching someone right now that is very serious about Gran Fondo racing.
Gran Fondo.
Gran Fondo
I
racing.
don't know what the heck that is.
It's a little bit different than the racing like USA Cycling Racing
Okay.
or UCI racing.
Okay.
It's a bit more social. It's generally not point-to-point race, but they'll have like 5 segments in the course where you go as hard as you can. And then it's supposed to be more like social in between the segments. Most of them are about 100 miles. Um, it's a kind of like a little bit less organized type of racing that's more social and really great for 50-year-olds.
Heck yeah, that sounds fun.
And I'm coaching someone right now that is into it. He's in his 50s. He travels.
Why does he want to do it?
He
though?
does
What
them
is
in France. He does them all over the world.
Is it for exercise? Is it to see the world? Is it for community? What is his why?
Yeah. He
He just wants to win.
he's leaning into his love of riding his bike, which he's been doing for many, many years. Fitness, strength.
Yeah.
This dude is high energy for somebody in his 50s. Very high energy.
Yeah.
And it's not just like he and I collaborate on the training and how he should train and methods, and how he feels. Like, we communicate often, but he's really into like the sleep, the nutrition, the supplements, the gear. I mean, we can all geek out on cool bikes. This dude has the coolest bike.
Yeah.
And, and then he travels to these events. He's social at these events. I've gone to some of these events with him.
Yeah.
And I like it. Also, I'm into this Gran Fondo thing. He makes friends that he'll see at the event next year. This really helped his health. He was a retired colonel from the Air Force.
Wow.
And when he got out of the Air Force, he was having trouble walking. He had a lot of injuries from being in fighter jets and like compression of his spine, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so cycling kind of was like a therapy almost to get him strong again. And now he loves it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any other whys? Other clients' whys?
I have another client that's newer to cycling. He's been bike riding a lot, like commuting around town, but now he's kind of newer to the sport of cycling.
Right.
And he wants to race.
He wants to like crit race?
Yes.
Criterium?
Yes. But besides that, my first reason I said, like, he likes to go out on weekends and hang on the Matador ride or do really good on the Breakfast Club ride, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it started.
Like
and
on
then,
the A group of the Breakfast Club?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's very strong.
Yeah, he must be.
And we were talking about physical talent. He's talented. Like, sometimes I keep giving him more and more training. I'm like, how do I tire this guy out? He just keeps absorbing it and getting stronger. But now he's leaning towards wanting to start racing.
Yeah.
So, we train towards his goals. So, like, pushing through the pain for him is how fast he can sprint out of turns and handle his bike. Like, he has to push that. Pushing for my other client that's doing these long distance 100-mile races, these Gran Fondos, it's a lot about endurance riding. Like, he has to sit on his bike for 4 or 5 hours at a time, like solid, steady riding, which he loves. Yeah.
Yeah, at a high pace probably too.
Yeah. And so they lean into what they're good at. I would say my advice as a coach for most of the cyclists I'm coaching is lean in to what you like.
Yeah.
Now, if your goal is to be a high-level racer, then we will have to address your weaknesses. You'll have to be an all-rounder and you'll have to work on everything.
Yeah.
But if you want, like this person I'm coaching that does Gran Fondos, if you want to do good at Gran Fondos, I can give you training that's very specific to that. And it works. And he had 20. It's interesting that he is in his 50s and he's breaking his power records. 2025, he had some of the best results he's ever had. And now we're working on getting into 2026, and he's psyched. Like, he's very motivated for 2026.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.